about one of the most heated conversations in all of software development, and that is the topic of ballpark estimates on simple projects. No one factor has contributed more to the failure of software projects than the disconnect that happens when a client comes in and asks for a ballpark estimate on a very simple app idea they have, and a developer trying to either win the business or to make the client feel better offers up some sort of ballpark estimate that really is based on hope and nothing more. It's really, really important that in the beginning of a software project that you don't start off on the wrong foot. So many software projects I see get started off on this idea that, oh, this is so simple. This could take 2 kids a weekend and it would be done. That's just not the reality of the situation. If your last name isn't Zuckerberg, I really recommend taking a step back and considering what you're doing and not relying so much on a faith-based estimate to set the agenda for your project going forward. So let's just think about this logically. If I wanted you to build a house, right, and I said, it's going to be a 2-bedroom house. It's really simple. There's been millions of houses built before. It's just a 2-bedroom house. Just give me a ballpark. What does it cost? It's really simple, though. Just a 2-bedroom house. Just give me a cost. Is it $500,000, $50,000? What is it? No. I don't want to give you any more information. Just a ballpark. Just a ballpark on a simple house. What is it? Ask any builder and they're just going to laugh at you, right? That's just not how the world works. But for some reason in the software realm, it almost seems to be the norm. And the good news here is that there is a solution. And I've come up with a process at the software firm that I've founded called Shrine Development that really parallels what happens in the building industry and removes this whole topic of ballpark estimates on basically good intentions and a little bit of faith. So think about it. When you're building a house, you don't just rush into building a house. You don't just start with a bathroom and see where it goes. You take a step back, you hire an architect, and you write out plans. You architect, what is this house going to look like, right? How many bedrooms? What are the hallways going to look like? What are the dimensions? Where is it going to be built? You take very exact stats. You get the stats, you get the plan together, and then you start doing estimates on cost. And then you have options on different things. Okay, you want the cabinets done in cherry versus oak? Here are 2 different prices. I really recommend you take that approach to building your software project rather than rushing in on I see a lot of people that basically the process goes like this. Have a call for 30 minutes, get an idea, and then ask the vendor, okay, just put together a quote. And then the vendor goes back, spends an hour, and throws out a quote and says, okay, I think your app is simple. It'll take $30,000. That's really not how the world works. Unless your app is something that has been done before, or it is like a marketing website where an agency has built hundreds of them or dozens of them, then you're in a situation where there needs to be a lot of consideration put into what exactly is being built before things get started and before things get estimated. So again, really try to consider what needs to be built and how do we get it to market as fast as possible, and do that ahead of time and then worry about the price and the estimate. So again, the process we have at Shrine is let's architect a solution in what we call discovery phase, spend 20 to 50 hours working on what exactly to be built, and then come up with an estimate and a battle plan, and then do your actual projections off of that. Because that's how long it takes to get the visuals right. Because really you're trying to establish scope, which is 2 parts. The visuals and then the system architecture. It takes 20 to 50 hours to get that thing set. Even for simple apps, it takes that long. And really it's important also to do this because there are a lot of existing solutions out there that can be leveraged. But if you don't know what exactly you want to do, you can't figure out what solutions to leverage. So again, if you're going out and looking to build an app, really make sure that anyone you talk to has a process that makes sense and puts planning ahead of time and doesn't try to just rush into things. Now, the counter to this is that some people say, well, you have to stay lean and that no one can predict the future and that it's really important. Just get started and see where it goes and let your customers tell you what you need. And that sounds great, but I have yet to see it work on a very large scale. Even the startups that say they're using lean startup have a pretty solid direction of where they're going, and then of course you'll iterate. So the analogy of a building does sort of break down as far as it is easier to change a software project versus a house. Yes, I will definitely agree with that. However, you still want to make sure that you have a plan and you're executing and then you're iterating off something. You're not just iterating in a bunch of random directions where it's not really aligned with anything. Where you're just getting someone's feedback, okay, do that. Get someone else's feedback, do that. So hope this helps. And really just, again, to reiterate, make sure that you're establishing your scope up front ahead of time. Make sure you're working with a team that understands both technology and business. So if you're looking at a software development shop and you're only talking to a salesperson and no one technical, I would consider that a red flag. It's really important that you have technical people present when you're going to build technical projects. And then lastly, make sure that the value is clearly established ahead of time, and then make sure that everything you do is really designed to get you to delivering value to your customers as fast as possible. So anyways, hope this helps, and if it did, please like, comment, share, or subscribe.